9 figures in losses, over $100 million just in one quarter, over 30 properties completely offline. And it all completely blew up after just one call to the IT service desk. I reference this case study all the time because it showcases how critical cybersecurity training is to your team, and not because it showcases like this macro crazy results, but more often it showcases what actually happens with the majority of cyber attacks in the fact that it was a well-intentioned employee that was just simply trying to do their job. So let's unpack what happened. So on August 31st, 2023, Okta flags, which is MGM's identity management system, flagged some weird activity happening around their IT help desk. And this was both MGM and Caesars that was hit in this cluster attack. A few days after, September 7th of 2023, Scattered Spider launches these attacks targeted at Caesars. They later disclosed that, they stole our loyalty database and had to pay about $30 million in ransom to get the database back. Then between September 10th and 11th is when these hackers start to move kind of laterally across all of the MGM properties with outages in its production system. This is when it all starts to fall apart because they're absolutely, clinging to life by saying on X, like, we're having some cybersecurity issues, and then all of a sudden, all of their slot machines are down, guest room keys don't work, check-in lines are like crazy long because they don't have a point of sale system, and all of their ATMs are broken, which makes it pretty hard to gamble. So how exactly did this happen? Well, Scattered Spider gained access right around September 8th to the overall system. They actually found an employee on LinkedIn, impersonated that employee, and called the IT help desk. The call lasted around 10 minutes, convincing the IT help desk to reset their two-factor authentication, which gave them access to Okta and Azure, okay? And that was kind of their foothold in the door. So meanwhile, we have this messiness of guests like shouting to the rooftops of the internet, being like, this is an absolute disaster, how dare they? And MGM over here being like, it's really not that big a deal. You guys are totally overreacting, really mischaracterizing what's actually happening. This is where you have kind of that rock and a hard place decision. You can isolate the system by shutting it down, knowing that you're going to experience all of the operational dysfunction that comes with shutting any sort of critical system down, or you can pay the ransomware and they might give it back to you and they might not. Very difficult decision. And for a business this size, they've got a variety of different consultants, advisors, and law enforcement trying to tell them what to do in this situation. So this entire dumpster fire lasts about 10 days. And they get it pretty much operational again by the end of September. After all of this, they not only experienced the operational disruption, but they also had to pay a ton of IT consultants and other specialists to come in, which they disclosed to the SEC that cost them about $100 million. Also, on top of that, they had all of these class action lawsuits from different parties that claimed inadequate security within these systems. And so this is not the fault of one rogue employee, right? This is a policy and training issue that happens all the time, especially with the rise of, I'll just plop it in ChatGPT and get my answer. Many of these employees are trying to be better at their job. They're trying to be helpful, more efficient. And it's your job as a business to train them on what could potentially happen if they're not following these policies or protocol. And then also the see something, say something. If you have a call at your help desk that sounds weird, give them an opportunity to report that, right? However they need to do that, and then provide that feedback loop of, oh, we listened to you and this is what happened, right? Much of these cybersecurity conversations are not about technology. Should you have a sophisticated identity management system? Absolutely. Should you test that and not just utilize what your neighbor uses? Absolutely. But it's going to come down to the awareness of your organization, especially one of this size, to ensure that they really understand from a frontline employee standpoint what risks are out there and how to combat them.